Let's move some money around. So this is something I do around the end of every year, which is reassess what I have in my sinking fund and my emergency fund. And I do this because sometimes a fund might be overfunded. For example, if I've earned interest, I don't like to leave it in there. I like to take it out. Or if I've used my sinking fund throughout the year and I didn't replace it, I like to refund that before the end of the year. So we'll start off with my emergency fund first and then move on to my sinking funds. So in my emergency fund, I hold 6 months of my living expenses, and I hold that in a high interest savings account. EQ Bank, Neo Financial are the two that I use. I'm going to reassess and look over quickly what I have in this account and if I need to take something out or if I need to put something else in. And at this moment, it looks like everything looks accurate. So this is basically, if I had no income coming in, I could live off of this for 6 months and live comfortably. All my bills would be paid and I would be able to still afford some extras if I needed to. So I'm just doing the calculations. I'm overfunded by almost $400. So $388.07 to be exact. And I'm gonna be removing the difference and investing it. Or if my sinking fund is underfunded, I might just move it over to that. So we'll see what I'm gonna do when we get to the sinking fund part of it. Your emergency fund is for when things go wrong, not if things go wrong, because something will always go wrong. And I know some people don't like to have emergency funds. I actually just remembered watching this one TikTok video of this girl saying that she doesn't believe in emergency funds because it's like calling emergencies upon yourself.
This is exactly why I don't have an emergency savings. Let me explain. I just personally believe that saving money for emergencies and rainy days brings on rainy days.
And even though one part of my brain understands that, the other logical part of my brain remembers 2020, I actually had to dip into my emergency fund. So I'm always gonna have an emergency fund. Some people might think that this is too much money sitting idle. And but in this season of my life that I'm currently in, this works for me, holding 6 months of my expenses into an account that is only gaining maybe 2.5% interest, which is fine. If this works for me because not only do I have an irregular income, but I'm also an entrepreneur, and this brings me peace of mind knowing that I can go 6 months without making any sort of income and still be able to, of course, you see, living comfortably. I'm comfortable with that. So now let's move on to my sinking fund, which might be a part 2. So check out the part 2 to this for my sinking funds.